And Alyssa also Major Rush is in attendance.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes, February 11th, 2026.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the minutes from Mr. Price. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Cooper. Any corrections or discussion? None? All in favor of approving February 11th, 2026 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? None. Okay, motion carries. Okay. Let's take a look at the fund reports. Any discussion?
Get to them.
Tony, you go ahead.
Well, I was looking at comparing this year to last, and we were like way ahead, like almost $200,000 better this year than last, and most of it was in the community crossings grant area. Is it because we got more, or we just haven't spent as much?
We haven't spent it yet.
We haven't finished paying it.
Yeah, we haven't finished paying last year's.
Mhm.
2024's actually, but we did the work in 2025. Then we have one for 2025 that the work will be completed in 2026.
Okay.
So those, the first one hasn't been completely paid for. We have one more payment on that, I think, when they finish it.
Mhm.
And then we'll have, and I wish I could tell you how much. Let me see, is it on here?
Because
The only
it's,
unpaid is for the park. Parking.
so I guess.
Yeah, see, one of them was 365,000 before the new one, so once we pay for that, yeah.
But we,
that's fine.
yeah, we won't have much.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
We won't have any.
So it's just a timing
Take
issue?
that out, right,
Really?
yes.
It's not that we're way,
We
way
usually get
ahead.
the money, yeah, we get the money
Right.
a year in advance, and then the project will be the next
Right.
year, just
Okay.
because of weather and
So
stuff.
that just seemed, something that was, okay, wow. We had like 200,000 this time last year, we have almost 400,000 in that fund this year. so-
Right.
And everything else seemed somewhat
Yeah,
consistent with it.
and eventually that will go to zero, because if we don't have a project, that'll be zero. I have to empty that out, or if we don't use up all the money, I have to repay the state, so
Gotcha, so,
it should be a zero.
Has that ever happened?
Oh, yeah.
Has it? Okay.
Mhm.
all right, okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, everyone take a look at the ATV report, claims recommendation for $8,207.59, which in my 2.5 years has been the lowest monthly pay schedule. Take a look at that, and then I make a motion to approve it. Motion by Tony Cooper to approve the claims recommendation for $207.59. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by
Second.
Mr. Cooney. Any questions? No questions? All those in favor of approving the claims recommendation of $8,207.59, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passes. Okay. Take a look at the payroll distribution of $19,834.64. And can I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the payroll distribution in the amount of $19,634.04.
I have a motion for Mr. Cooper. Do I have a second?
Mr. Cooney?
Okay,
Mr. Cooney?
834,
Mr.
sorry.
Cooney. I can write this.
Got it.
Cooney is over here.
Are you okay?
It's
close.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Martinez. Okay. Any questions? None? All those in favor of approving the payroll distribution of $19,834.64, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes. We are now on, police department. Up to
Ready
you,
for it?
Assistant Chief.
Okie dokie. Do you want to do the Durango first or at the end?
You want the what?
Do the vote for the Durango first or at the end?
However you want to do it.
Well, let's just knock it out. So, we're looking at ordering another Durango this year to maintain the fleet, and I got an email on Monday that they're going to cut the bid process off into March, so we need to order that now. We were going to hold off and see how some of the new guys did as far as stats to see where the car may end up, but we need to go ahead and order it now. And then that gives us some time to see how they're gonna do. It ranges from, we've gotten it as quick as like 4 months before to 6 to 8 months. So we might as well just go ahead and do that now. So I would like to ask for a vote to approve the new
Cost.
Durango in the amount of, 54. So the Durango is about 42 and the lights are about 12.
So you want 54,000?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the new Durango for the, what do you want to call it, for the police department in the amount of $54,000?
Make a motion to approve purchasing a Dodge Durango, is that correct?
Yep, 2026 Dodge Durango.
$4,000 as an addition to the police department fleet.
I have a motion from Mr. Cooney. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Mr. Price. Any further discussions or questions?
Then when the car comes in, you come back to us and say, I need 12,000 for lights.
No, that's what we just did.
It's included.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all included.
42 plus
Thank you, I missed that.
Yep. All inclusive.
The only discussion or only question I would have is, you know, we had Fords for so long, and then how many Dodges, do we have, 1 or 2 already?
Currently, we have 4.
At least 4.
Or do we?
4.
Maybe we got 5.
No, 5.
Yeah, 5.
And how are they working compared to the way the Fords did for the number of years we got the Fords?
Pretty comparable. Some guys like things about them better, some guys like certain things about the Fords better. I would say there's no major difference so far. Not gonna work.
But at this point, are they the only game in town? I know we switched to the Durango because that was it. Ford was like years out.
Yeah, essentially, Ford's bidding process is really different, or it has become much different than the way it used to be. They have a very short window when they allow orders now, and so you're seeing like sometimes over a year wait times to get those. So it's, and they're like around 50 just for the base vehicle. So after you add lights, you're talking about over 60, and so this is definitely more cost effective and
Quicker delivery?
it's, yeah, quicker delivery, and it doesn't really seem to, we've had issues with Fords, we've had issues with the Dodges, but as far as actual day-to-day, there doesn't seem to be much difference.
How many vehicles do we have in our fleet?
On the police side, we have 8. Yeah. And then the city truck and the bucket truck.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is that from Fletcher again?
Yes, it'll be from Fletcher Dodge,
All those in favor of approving a purchase of a Dodge Durango for $54,000 for the police fleet, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries.
Okay, so we had if anybody remembers, we had the guy try and get into the got into the Jacob building, got on top of a lady, she woke up, and then he jumped back out the window. We had another,
The Jacob Building, is that the new?
That's
new
the
apartment.
apartment.
And so a couple weeks later, resident at Church and Hall called. Someone tried to, or cut their screen and tried to get in their daughter's bedroom window. Detective Komoric responded, and then IMPD actually pulled this individual over, got in a little short vehicle chase, but seems to be he's the one. He admits to liking to walk around in people's yards. He said the light was on, so he walked up to the window, wanted to look in, and all that. So we think that it's one and the same. He lives over just north of the park on the other side of the river. His mom does. She is, as of right now, still refusing to bail him out, so he is still currently incarcerated. We don't have much else to go on off of the Jacob building to try and connect him to that. There was some back and forth. She hasn't been the most reliable about possibly some things missing, then things weren't missing, so that kind of takes out like a search warrant to try and find those items with him, that kind of stuff. She only saw his eyes, so a lineup, she's probably not going to be able to pick him out, but we'll see. Detective Komorka is putting one together to show her.
So was he wearing a mask?
When he broke into the Jacob, he was.
Okay.
He they did not recover a mask on from Holland Church, yeah. So again, this was like at Holland Church was about 12:30 in the morning, but he admitted he likes to go around 2 or 3 in the morning, just walk through yards and.
That's reassuring.
Yeah. He just get out of his mom's house. He just goes find some place to park and starts walking.
So Jacob building, no prints?
Nope. So, could be gloves, could be, again, if you take everything at face value, her window was closed, maybe it wasn't.
The screen, okay, so he would have had to take the screen off and then,
Jacob doesn't have screens.
oh, they don't have screens, okay.
Yeah, so it could have been as easy as just an open window and he got through. Yeah, there wasn't anything
No screens.
recovered there, so. But at that house there was, and again, then we get into the battle with the prosecutor's office over what is actual residential entry, that kind of stuff, because he wasn't able to lift the window much, he had it locked. So he could lift it a little bit, but not enough to actually get inside. The one thing that helps us out there is he had to open a locked gate to go into the yard. So that gives us a little bit to stand on with the
I was
prosecutor.
gonna say, do they have cameras in the hallways over there?
You talking about the Jacob building? Yeah, but nothing that he came in from the outside,
Okay, I just,
walking down Southport Road. So nothing they didn't have anything there. We were able to get a still image from the antique mall. It's very, very grainy. It's from a distance, so it's not even enough to tell like what color skin the person had. And they were wearing mostly black. So, but if we had to guess, it's one and the same, especially with him going on about his nightly activities when he does to get out of his mom's house. So there's that. We had the Rise basketball game last Thursday. I would like to be able to say we were victorious, but once again, we were defeated. I'm sure, I don't have much high hopes for next year, but we'll see. Everyone start playing, and I can use all of you. We covered for Beach Grove last Monday. They had their second shift had their debriefs for everything they went through with Officer Elliott, so they asked for help covering runs for about 6 hours. So we went over and took care of that for them without issue. The cadets have helped out at a couple events at Perry. They're going to help out at graduation. They mainly use them to park cars, and then the township actually gives us like a donation to pay the cadets. And it goes back into equipment and stuff like that they need for them. So they just did one this week, they did one 2 weeks ago, and then they'll help with graduation again. So it can be tough to keep the kids involved, but they seem to like that kind of stuff where they can actually go out and put the vest on and kind of be by themselves. Handle a little business, I guess. Last Saturday, we had the 2 interviews.
Yes, we did.
And so Major Roush put all that together, put us up. It looks like we'll be moving forward with the one gentleman, Michael Ives, that had been with us previously and then went full-time at Crawfordsville. And we will not be moving forward with Mr. Watkins. Support Services helped with Chin National Day last month. Went over and helped them at the church. For those that don't know, that's the big, kind of like their 4th of July parade, but the Chin community all comes together, usually at a church, and they celebrate their culture and that kind of stuff. So oftentimes, due to some of the Chin gangs that are involved, that can be kind of tumultuous, but this year went off without a hitch. They didn't have any issues. Do you want to talk about what's going on with Flock at Southport McFarland?
Yeah, so the 2 flock cameras, one is going to be at McFarland and Stop 11. We are still waiting for permits from the City of Indianapolis for that one. The other camera is a bit of a struggle because these are solar powered cameras. So where we initially were going to have it on Southport Road, there's trees that keep growing over and blocking the solar. So we'd have to go over there and constantly be trimming trees. So that's not really going to be super viable. I've asked them to move it to the intersection, which is what they're doing to our other camera. I said we're going to have the same issue there with shade. So we're still trying to work out a solution with them to get the camera in that location. because we want to get the westbound traffic going into the city. We want to know who's coming into our city. So we're trying to figure out a solution with them on how to get that camera placed there, where it will get enough solar, and what other solutions they may have for us.
That's Southport and McFarland.
So that'll be, yes, it's Southport.
But we're getting eastbound traffic.
Westbound, going into
We're
the city.
getting, going east, that's what I mean.
Yeah, eastbound is going out of the city, eastbound, westbound is going.
I know that, but I mean, we are getting eastbound.
So,
We're getting east. Are we getting that information, but
We
not
would
west?
after they left.
yes, there's a camera just down the road a little bit, around Gray Road, that's
okay.
facing,
But it's not ours.
right, it's not our
No.
camera, that's one of the selling points of Flock, is you're not just buying the cameras, you're buying the network, you're buying into it, so we have access to thousands and thousands of Flock cameras, but we're trying to get specific ones that'll be more beneficial to us,
Sure.
so.
So that's the one at Southport and McFarland. Were we also doing one at McFarland to stop 11?
We are, that one will be facing northbound, and because of the location of that one, it'll technically be on the city of Indianapolis's property. We have to go through them for permits, and they are very slow.
So we want to see the northbound traffic on McFarland?
Yes.
Do we already have something for stop 11 or how?
Yes, there is a camera, there are 2 cameras at stop 11 and Madison. I don't know if off the top of my head, I think one goes north and one goes east.
Okay, so we get the eastbound
Yes.
traffic. And then will we get any westbound coming into?
No, the east, so once you start getting east of McFarland and out into like Franklin Township, there are hardly any flock cameras, so we don't really have a whole lot from that direction.
Okay, why do we want McFarland going north more than we want stop 11? I guess, I don't know, I mean, why do we choose that direction?
Sure. So there is a camera that's going east, so we're gonna get the
On
eastbound.
stop 11,
Yeah,
right.
but that's closer to Madison, so we are kind of getting that data of the cars coming into the city.
Okay.
So having it go westbound
Okay,
there.
we really don't have anything on, okay.
Yeah, so we already kind of have some cameras that might pick those up, but again, we want people that might be coming off stop 11 and shooting up north
Mhm.
into the city, because that's what we want, is we want to know people who are coming into the city
Okay.
and what they're doing, and it allows us to, if we're posted up just a little bit north of that intersection, and we get people that have stolen vehicles and warrants and that kind of stuff, then we have time to get them in our city as well.
Gotcha. So it's that quick you can respond to in real time?
It is, but you do have to have a little bit of a gap. So it takes about 30 to 45 seconds between when it passes by and when it will update on the system. So I can't just be sitting there and it pops up and go, oh, there it is. You have to time it a little bit.
Right. Right. So you
But then you know what you're looking for, so then.
Yeah, so the idea of it is to sit down from where the camera is at.
Right.
And then by the time it alerts you, you'll have enough time to respond. That's if you were doing like the actual live monitoring. Of course, for investigation purposes, we can look at vehicle patterns and where they've been, and where they're heading, and where they're going. But part of the use will be, tracking the vehicles as they're coming in. And if, they're expired plates or stolen vehicles or warrants, we could stop those cars while they're going through the city.
Yeah, so if you think about it in an effort to try and get as much, because much the same as like whether it's east or west on Southport Road, right? Whether we can capture the license plate, which is far more beneficial, which then we can do some advanced searching based on all the times that license plate has come onto a camera, versus like looking for, if it's coming towards the camera, you're looking at
Right.
vehicle
You're
model and
not
maybe
gonna see
color.
anything.
So we're trying to get as much coverage, at least on the 4 corners, so that if someone's able to get a partial plate or a plate, that at least coming out of the city, if they committed a crime or something, we have an idea of where they went from there. So we're just trying to ensure that we capture as much data as we can from those license plates for people that would be leaving the area. And then the side of that is also so that we can do some more focused enforcement, sitting down from those areas, for more of a real-time thing. Total benefit from being able to help with investigations and where they went and how they left the city and that kind of stuff is really what prompted the cameras and the conversation on whether we wanted them or not. So that might help a little bit to think of in terms of like, we're trying to make sure we have as many license plates covered leaving the city as possible.
Will the Southport Road one then be operational first, you think?
They should be at the same time.
Yeah, in theory. Kind of depends on when Indianapolis finally gives them the okay to install that one, and then whether this location is there anything they're gonna be able to do to make this work, or do we have to look elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm still working with them to try to find a solution. But, if anybody would ever want to see like a demo of Flock or how it works, you can get with me and I'd be happy to show you what it looks like, how it works, some of the locations of where the cameras are at. It's definitely a very good investigations tool.
And then, other than that, for those that haven't heard, the Health and Hospital Academy kind of fell through due to a lot of factors that would take a lot of time to get into. The short answer is they're all going to be going to Tier 2 at ILEA.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Due to some internal things with their HR, that kind of stuff. Not liking if someone could come here and not have to stay the night, and they started getting a lot of complaints like that coming on their end. So they decided just to send everybody there, which frees us up to do other things that we need to do around here. So we are out, bringing in that income, but that's about it. So, but I wanted to give you guys an update on that, since I think the last you heard was, it should have already been started.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
April, there was an April date. I thought that was-
Yeah, and that is also since, so. And that is it on the police side,
Okay.
unless anybody's got anything.
Do you have anything on the public works side?
We do have, yes, we do have, where did he put that? Let me see. On the public works side, the executive staff bathroom door and chief's door are not latching, so Bob is working on getting those fixed. Seems like at least once a year, we have to adjust the latches. I don't know if that's due to humidity and swelling and that kind of stuff. The sink in the women's outdoor bathroom over at the park was leaking. That's been fixed. The light above the Perry Seniors is out. E&M is supposed to be looking at that. Nothing wrong with the vehicles. And then we got the parking arrow signs. Those have come in, so Bob is going to, next week, he's going to start getting those installed. So if you remember, we talked about having 2 signs at Main and Southport with arrows pointing where the parking lot is, and then those will both be from east and west, directing them there. There will be one at Derbyshire and Main, directing from that way down to the parking lot, and then 1 sign at the actual city parking lot, letting them know this is where you park. So those are in, and those should go up next week. And then Thursday, Chief and I have tomorrow, we have the drive-through with Brad from Crossroads to look at the next community crossings grade. So that will be happening tomorrow at, I think, noon or 1. That is it on the public works side.
And then tomorrow, we won't be there, right? Tomorrow at 10:30, we're having a meeting with Crossroads Engineering, the chief, myself, Jim won't be there either, to talk about the projects that we're going to be starting this year.
Yes, so that is, we're doing that at 10:30, and then we're leaving right after that to do the drive-through. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. My days are getting a little confused.
Put that in there.
So that's it on our side.
Okay, then I will present something for Public Works.
Have at it.
We are looking at doing a 5-year plan for the community center, doing both repairs and improvements with the money that we have. That's why we're doing it over 5 years. And we will be having a committee put together that will go and take a look and see what needs to be done, prioritize, and for the monies that we have for this year. And I think for this year, we're somewhere in the 30,000s that we can spend for that particular project. So we'll see what needs to be done, what's most urgent first, and then we'll look at the nicer things that we can do to improve it. And on that note, we have a proposal here to do a couple things. And it's gonna be several stages here as I talk through it. First is going to be changing the hours that we rent the community center. Right now, we are renting, I handed out to these guys. We rent the community center out until midnight on most days, where you can rent from like 8 to 3 p.m. or 4 to 11 on 4 to midnight on Saturday or Sunday, or you can have the whole day. We're looking at moving that down. We're looking at, where's my proposal here? That the community center, and it has disappeared. Here it is, okay. Fridays only, from 4 to 9 p.m., because right now we are not renting out in the mornings from 8 to 3 on Monday through Thursday. So we just do 4 to 9 with special exceptions that come up from time to time. And then we will do Saturday and Sunday, we're proposing from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So they will take the entire day, whether they need it or not, basically, okay? So that's the first step, is we're looking at the hours. And there's reasons for that, and a lot of it has to do with maintenance, that if we split it up. Pardon?
Sorry,
Oh,
custodial maintenance.
Yeah, if we split it up, we have to have Donna come in and clean in between the 3 o'clock and the 4 o'clock, and then she's here till midnight, or after midnight. And I believe, according to what I've heard in prior meetings that we've had, that most people don't stay till midnight. Plus the fact that we pretty much say on a big billboard, pretty much that, you know, the park closes at dusk. Okay, so that would be kind of having people stay till midnight is a little bit against our ideal times. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we've done two things. One, we've looked at what communities around us are charging for rent. And the fact that we are also doing improvements to the community center. So we're wanting to raise rates. So we looked at around the area, it looks like we are substantially less than what other people charge. Greenwood, or I don't know who else has ones we've looked at. So we're thinking of increasing two different ways. We're looking at increasing the rate, and this is a suggestion, this is a proposal, and I would like all of the board members to chime in if there's something else, because this isn't set in stone, this hasn't been voted on, it's just a proposal that was put together for ideas, okay? We'd like to see $150 tagged onto each rental. And that can be done two ways, and this is another thing I want to talk to the board about. Do we want to graduate at $50 a year over 3 years? Or do we want to, as I say, rip the Band-Aid off and go $150 all at once? Anyone have any preference? I want to talk about that. And then one more thing is the deposits. We currently ask for $200. We'd like to increase that to $250.
Is that like a damage deposit?
Yeah, I think that's what you use, and then they get it back if it's all good, but it's not, they can't use that towards their
Rent,
payment,
yeah.
rent.
Right.
Yeah. And then as far as effective date, we're looking at, Alyssa and I were talking, we thought maybe October 1st would be a good effective date to start it, and then anyone that has already gone ahead and rented into the end of the year, or already some people are renting into 2027, that they would be grandfathered with the price that they were told at the time. Okay, it would just be new rentals after October 1st, we'd get the new rate. And it would either be $50 extra or be $150 extra. So I'm leaving it open to the board right now to have some open discussion on that. About the hours. Anyone want to talk about that? What do you think of the hours that are on the proposal?
It seems fine if that's the experience you've been having. For example, the thing that struck me the most is that you need to be out there by 8 o'clock. You know, if it's a Friday night or Saturday night, I could see people wanting to go a little bit beyond that. Can they make a special request if they wanted to go beyond that? Is there, any leeway?
That would be up to you.
Well, now, Friday,
There could be.
Dusk, and dusk during the summertime is
It's
9
later
o'clock.
than that, yeah.
10 o'clock.
Well,
So I think we're adjusted, I think that should be adjusted to 9 o'clock on the weekends.
Sorry.
Sunday,
Yeah, and that would be a concern, because Saturday night you have a party that starts at 7 o'clock. You're not gonna get out there till, at 9 o'clock. But,
Yeah, so that would be my thing, is
right,
I don't have a problem with that if there would be an opportunity for that party to say, hey, can we get an exception for this event?
do we want to leave it open, or do we just want to say 9 o'clock or something, or?
I mean, Elizabeth, you're kind of the expert because you're the one that's been getting these requests over the years. How many people have really wanted it and actually used it till later? I mean, what
it's very
percentage?
rare that somebody's there till midnight.
So-
Because, people, number one, you cannot have alcohol there. So that keeps you from staying there till we all know that the more you
Sure.
drink, the
Sure.
later you
You're
stay.
gonna stay later, yeah.
So, but some people are there till 11, but I think that's probably not very frequent.
In the actual operation of it, if you had this new policy, but would you feel comfortable saying, maybe not necessarily explicitly stating that, but if somebody said, could we get an exception for this event, would that be doable, you think?
Yeah, I think if if they ask that, because the majority of the rentals, I would say are probably like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, because they're baby showers, or they're, 2-year-old birthday parties. You're not gonna have that at 7 o'clock at night, you're gonna have that during the day. I would say that's probably 80% of the things that happen there, or that kind of thing. So, if somebody did want that, then I would definitely check with the custodian staff, check with Donna and say, okay, this is what's happening, are you good with
It's up to her,
that?
because she's gonna,
Yeah, but one of the problems is, and he can chime in on this, is the key that they get will lock the place up at 9 o'clock. So if you go out and you leave your stuff in there, you're not getting back in with your keys inside.
right,
Because that's how the system is. It's done. If you have an all-day rental right now, it opens up at 8 and it closes at midnight, or it automatically
Right.
locks it up, and your key fob will work just during those hours. So they will have to know that as well. Because I don't want to have a bunch of keys.
Oh, I see
One
what
that
you're
works
saying.
till 9,
So they
one that
can't,
works till midnight.
if somebody's leaving after that certain hour where it automatically locks, somebody have to be inside
Yes,
to let them back in
Right.
or whatever.
That would never work.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun, okay.
Yeah, I
Just
think,
something.
me myself, I think 8 o'clock's too early.
you think 8 o'clock's too early?
Too early, yeah. I mean, because, and 9 o'clock is pushing it. I'd say, in my opinion, I think it should be 10. And I know I'm not the custodial person, but, that way if somebody says, they're done at 9 or right at dusk, it gives them about an hour to at least clean up their mess before they leave.
I understand that, I'm just worried about Donna being there that late night.
I mean, could
Because we're trying to,
is she the one that wants it early at 8 or?
she doesn't,
We're just concerned about her being there.
Yeah.
being there,
Yeah, well,
11 o'clock at night, still cleaning up, or.
So if we said 10 o'clock, then are we saying?
That she's out of there by
She's
11.
out of there by 11?
Mhm.
That's a lot better than midnight.
Mhm.
And
Well,
there's,
that's true.
I would say most of the time, Donna will not, like if it's a Saturday and they're there till 11, she goes early Sunday morning.
To
Okay.
clean up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
Don't you
Is
think
that-
that's probably
Mhm.
more?
Yeah, she
Okay.
definitely
And that's
does.
safer on her part.
Yeah, or if there's not a rental on Sunday, if it's just on Saturday, then she won't go. Because she'll have an
Yeah.
officer go by, because, whoever's on duty will go by and make sure everything's locked up.
Okay.
Okay. And then on the Friday, we have 4 to 9 on the proposal. Do you want to make that 10? Because it's a Friday night?
Do we have many rentals on Friday night?
Not many.
No.
We don't have very many.
Would you recommend we don't rent it at all, or that we do rent it? Come on.
What percentage? Do you think if we get 10% people do Friday night?
Probably,
Okay,
yeah.
well, we could bump
That's
that
maybe
to
Saturday
10.
and
So
Sunday.
then
But
we
you're
do 9
saying Monday through Friday though, on
There's-
the proposal, right?
It's 4 to 9 on Friday is the proposal.
There's nothing Monday through Thursday. We only do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so yeah, that's not right on that thing.
Oh, okay, that's not right. Right, that's-
It's just a weekend, right?
It's just a weekend.
Okay,
See, it's right
gotcha.
here, see Friday and
I mean,
Saturday.
I think she
don't know.
said special circumstance, sometimes like a nonprofit will have it, like you guys
Okay.
just approved the Lions Club having it or whatever, like a Thursday or whatever.
Mhm.
Right.
But as far as a resident paying for it, we only do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay, so are we in agreement that 8 to 10 sounds good Monday, Saturday to
Just 8 to
Sunday? Are we in agreement on that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Dale?
I mean, this is
I'm
obviously.
just thinking, because I know that, you know, it's going to be busier during the summer months.
Yes.
Right.
And the days are extended, and, you know, sometimes, you know, it's dusk at 9:30 in the evening. You know,
Right,
so
you can mow your lawn.
so I'm thinking, you know,
Yeah.
So are you good with 10 o'clock or?
I'm good with 10 o'clock.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what I suggest.
All right. So now let's kind of switch gears here and talk about the deposit. Talking about increasing the deposit by $50. It's $200 now and it would be $250.
So for the way that works, for those of you who have never rented it, that when they schedule it, I give them 10 to 14 days to pay the deposit, to hold the date. So they come in, they write a check, they pay credit card, they pay cash. Because I can't hold checks, it's against the law in Indiana, I can't do that. But, so I cash the check, and then once the rental is over, I say 10 to 14 days after that, I will mail them a check for the 200 or whatever you guys raise it to. So that's how that works.
If they clean it up.
As
and
long as
everything.
everything's good, which that's happened one time to me since I've been a treasurer.
Oh, good. Okay. So are we kind of in agreement about that?
I'm okay with 250.
No, I'm
Are
okay
you
with
okay
that.
with 250?
Okay, now the rate changing. So we're talking about a total, unless someone has another idea, but the proposal is $150 added to each of these. Okay, to the daily rate on Saturday, Sunday, and added to the Friday 4 to 9. How do we want to approach it? Do we want to do 3 years, $50 each year, we raise it each year, so effective, whatever date we'll come up with, it'll be $50 more, then in 2028 it'll be $50 more, and then in 2029 it'll be $50 more? Or do we just want to say, effective, say October 1st of this year, it's going to be $150? Thoughts?
I think if you increase it $150 right out of the gate, the different people, residents, what have you, not that's rented it before is gonna look at that in bulk. So I think we ought to start off at a $50 and see how the residents accept
That's a
that.
good point, but the $150, adding that to that is still less than what you can get nearby. It's like $450, or I don't know how much it is.
Someone did
a study.
like 200 an hour.
I don't know about that high, but yeah, I looked a few years ago, we're short.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot more, so I think.
I mean, it's a nicer facility also, so you
Right,
can look at
yeah.
that.
Well, I'm kind of with Dale on that one,
Okay.
because I remember, I've not rented the Southport Community Center ever, but we used to go to the state parks years ago, and the rates were so low. I mean, you know, we stayed there a week and it was great. And they didn't, when they decided, they did some kind of study, and they just all of a sudden more than doubled the rates. And it was like, oh my God, why would you do that, you know? It's like, well, apparently, we have not been charging enough for all these years, so we're gonna make up for it all in 1 year. So I just remember, I was like, man, that just seemed ridiculous. And I kind of thought, state, you have kind of been mismanaging that. Couldn't you have incrementally done that? So I definitely would like the idea of incrementally working up to it. And I think there are people that use that every year or regularly would appreciate that rather than just bam, it's almost double the rate. I think that would shock people.
Yeah, because they're already gonna be looking at an increase on the deposit, you know, and then turn around and then you get them up and tell them you're gonna charge them $150 more on the rental, they're gonna be like, well, then they start shopping and looking elsewhere. So we'll end up losing revenue because of it.
And then Alyssa, in a quick discussion I had with you, doing it $50 a year, each year, and people who are like in this year already renting for 27 and 28, because they want to make sure they have that date in, isn't going to be an issue for you.
No. If you tell me October 1st, 2026 to October 2027 is 50, and then
Mhm.
October 1st, 27 to 28, another 50, then,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
Do you have any thoughts on that? One way or the other? No?
I do think that we should increase it up in the year. I just think that it would be very jarring to suddenly pay 150 more for something.
Okay, so, let's see, what else did I leave anything else out? I don't think so. So, any further discussion on anything before we vote?
I got a quick question.
Sure.
Did we settle on 10 p.m. for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Just a one time to end all of those rentals? Is that
What was the question?
Do 10 o'clock each Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right, till 10 p.m.?
Oh, that's right, because I thought we talked about Friday, keeping it at 9, or is it gonna be 10?
That's okay.
Well, again, like I said, you got dusk, in the summertime.
Yeah, I'd rather just have a consistent, all the same.
Yeah, we'll go 10.
Okay,
Okay, we'll go 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Good question.
That's horrible.
right, yeah,
It is.
thank you.
I mean, that's pulling it back from midnight to 10 o'clock, that's 2-hour cut, so.
Yeah, 2 hours, that's and if, like she says, most people, they'd be gone by then anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? All right, so can I get a motion?
Can I ask a question first, please?
Let her go first. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Melissa, this is just a question I'm just asking. So you said of all the deposits that you've had, you've only like one time had any
Not returned it.
any problems.
And that was
So I
because
guess-
the police were involved, they had the.
I guess my question is, why would you want to increase it $50 when it's not an issue as far as any problems with, she's giving that $200 or whatever it is now. She's giving that back every time anybody rents it. So to me, adding extra $50 onto it is just making it harder for someone to put that deposit down since you have to cash the check. And if you're giving the money back anyway, why would you want to add the $50 to that particular part of it, to that deposit? That's
Well, I
that's
guess how
my,
did we come up with the $200 to start with? It's usually damages. So we look at our damages and say, is it now over all these years we've not done anything and there's more.
but she's
liability?
returning the whole deposit every time. Only one time has she had any
Right.
issues.
I understand that.
So to me,
I don't know.
upping it $50 is just making it maybe a little bit harder, because you're already gonna up the price of it, which is good, you know. But it just seems like the deposit doesn't need to be $50 more, because she's giving that money back anyway.
That was my comment too, because it just seems like.
I think a service call to fix a stopped drain or a busted window or something like
Yeah, things
that.
have cost more
What
than
does it
liability
cost?
costs.
Yeah, but they're not, it's not happening. I mean, I'm just saying, one out of all,
What if?
yeah, but she's
Yeah,
got
what if,
$200.
You know, the 250
That's
doesn't
fine.
pay because they trashed the room.
But would
Yeah.
insurance come into effect with some of that?
There's deductibles, just like what you have, Southport has a deductible. I
Did
think
it-
it's just a question of what does it cost to fix stuff if stuff is damaged?
Did it have anything to do with the proposed repairs we're talking about over there, upgrades? Knowing
Well, that's what the 50 a year,
No, but what I'm saying is knowing that if we are going to upgrade and improve it, right, and it's going to maybe have more facilities or something like that, or a better quality of than what's in there now, if we do that and then something goes wrong, is it going to?
oh, because the new stuff.
Because
is
it's
gonna be-
newer and it's, yeah, maybe more, if we, rearrange the bathrooms.
That's what I say, liability.
So I just didn't know if
Liability
it
things from
was,
years back to liability now to replace this or do that. And like you say, it's only happened once in I don't know how many years, but we can't see the future, so I don't know. Yeah, Susan?
Could it be a thing of you don't get your deposit back, and if you do damage it, you are liable for the expense of that as well?
Oh, I don't know
It
that.
just depends
It's-
on how it's written.
I mean, because
That's an
then,
illicit question.
then that way you could keep it at the $200, but then if it was damaged, that person would be responsible for paying for that extra money, and that might make it so
I
that
don't
they
know what
wouldn't.
that actually happens.
I don't know, we can't, I'm in
So you-
discussion.
I don't know.
If they don't ever pay us the money, then I gotta get an attorney, you know what I mean? So then,
It's easier to have the damage deposit.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
I still have the deposit,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that you could have a clause in there that if there is damage beyond the $200.
Oh, is that in the rental agreement?
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, within a degree, if there's damage beyond the $200, you are accountable for that money.
I see what you're
So
saying.
then you could still leave it at the $200 and it wouldn't be like you're risking us having to pay something to have things fixed.
I think one of the reasons we raised it last time is because we didn't want the deposit less than the highest fee. Do you remember that? Like, that's why we raised it to 200, because it was 150, and 200 is the highest fee.
Right,
So we wanted the
Now that
deposit to
we're
be
raising
the
it,
highest
yeah.
fee.
Thank you, that's,
Throwing
I
it
just,
out.
that was my point.
Good question. Okay, any other questions or concerns? Okay, let's do a motion. All right,
Wait a second.
we're gonna do it all in one. And I'm going to just say, to make it easy, because we've been very explicit here, is I'm gonna make a motion to change the hours, the rates, and the deposit. Along with, did we mention the effective date of October 1st of 2026, as discussed in this meeting? And I get a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion from Mr. Cooney, can I get a second?
Do you need me to enunciate all the particulars, or you got it?
No, I can do
She's
that.
got
Got it?
That's fine, yeah.
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Martinez. Okay, now, last chance, we talk about October 1st as the effective date, and everyone else that's already signed up will be grandfathered. Any other discussion?
No.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? None, motion passes. Okay. And you have no other public works?
No, ma'am. You're in the
Either?
loop.
Permits for, oh, I wasn't there, any permits?
No, it's okay. The only one that we have a couple of new ones at the Chase thing, now it's gonna be a dentist's office. The electric and the plumbing, they got those this week, or last week, I guess, so. I think that's it. There was a right-of-way permit on Walnut, 37 Walnut. I think that's it.
Okay.
Is there
From
any
citizens.
activity on the barn dominium? Did Greg Shaw purchase that?
Yeah, I haven't.
But
No, because they have to get another ILP from
Okay.
NE, so they're waiting on that.
Because I told one of my neighbors that was purchased by EM, and they immediately said, when is he going to fix it up? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to get permits from NE first.
Yeah, that's,
I'm assuming if the purchase went through, in fact, I don't know that, I've been told that they were purchasing it,
Yeah.
and they were
I
told that
have
it did
no
not go
idea.
through. Okay,
they don't tell me things like that because it's a conflict of interest.
okay. Well, tell Greg he needs to come see me then.
But it's serious.
Okay, so now, open comments from anyone?
I have a couple. So, I know you already voted on making the changes to the pricing and stuff for the rentals. But when you were looking at other facilities and comparing, did anybody check into rental, like, percentages? Because you just essentially doubled the amount for a resident to rent the room, and you added 150 to the existing cost for a non-resident. So let's say 10 residents were renting it, but now that you've doubled the price, 5 of them decide not to.
In 2 years, it'll be double, right?
Right, but I'm just saying, you haven't increased your revenue at all if fewer people are renting.
Well, that's true, in any case.
Right, but I mean, did you look at, I think part of the reason that, I'm not saying we shouldn't raise the price of it, and you've already voted on that, but I'm just saying that when you are looking to raise the price of something, you need to consider, are you pricing yourself out of your market? And I think a lot of the appeal for renting the room here in Southport is because it is considerably cheaper than anywhere else. So, just something to
I think
consider.
That's kind of in there, I mean, we're thinking, would that be too much? Would we no longer have any rentals?
Yeah,
for
I mean-
that?
We'll see what happens, and then the other thing is, what is our required match on the community crossing grant?
Right now it's 25%, and that's going to 20.
Yeah,
It is
next
going,
year.
okay, because of the new SB 179, okay.
Yep.
Anyone else? No question? It is 7:51. I call the meeting adjourned.